Good evening, Central Indiana, and welcome to JTH Construction Studio. Where tonight? We're talking football, baby.
Absolutely. It's a good time of year.
Have you ever stopped?
No. My wife will tell you that it never ends.
Right. Join us in studios, Coach Duggar. We're going to get to him momentarily. Once again, we're live, JTH Construction Studio. Get a hold of Joe for all your construction needs, 765-913-8599. American Basement Solutions, Mr. Larry Ralph Sr., 1-877-409-2837. Fathom Real Estate, Teresa Messmer, 765-341-8911. Wellspring, Bob Goodrum's Group, 765-346-6661. Stitt's Comfort System, give Caleb Stitt a call at 765-346-0195. Livewire Electrical Consulting, give Tommy Walls a call at 765-792-4012. Wayman's Furniture, Appliance, and Mattress. Give Mark Wayman a call at 765-342-4339. What's up, Dalton? Hello, Becky. Hello, CB. The Yard Barber, Contract. Contact Andrew Payton, 765-318-4108. Logan's Cosmos, 765-318-3388. And, of course, Hometown Nutrition, Martinsville, 765-315-0738. Protein shakes, iced coffee, boosted teas, and smoothies. And Drink the Creek. Cedar Creek starts back up on the 26th with the Toby Keith Tribute Band, Made in America, and the Wombly's Rock Orchestra. We will be out there. But first, can't wait. Tomorrow night, baby. Bedford North Awards comes to town. Coach, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. You got a ton of support, man. You got everybody helping you
out.
That's
what we needed.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And you know how that works. But the more the merrier.
That's right. Keep them coming.
So we get to do this fun stuff.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm gonna back it up, and I'm gonna kick you right in the throat here. When we left south side of the state last year, walking off that field, that had to be, and we're a family show, but that had to been a turd in the throat.
Yeah. It wasn't very fun. Didn't expect it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Obviously, East Central was a hell of a football team. They've
got a lot of guys getting looked at by D1s. We know that
they're really good.
Yeah.
I felt pretty good going into the game. I knew they were good, and I thought we were good too.
Yeah.
They, talking to their coach this off season a little bit, run into him through the circuit, the clinics and stuff, and he said that's the best game we've played total as a football team in 3 years. So, they were lights out. They were a really good football team. You put both those together, and we had some kids, I think, that didn't arise to the moment.
You played your B game, and they played their A+ game, and it showed.
Yeah, for sure. There were some kids that I think with the moment. It was fun. It wasn't like warm ups and just we had the vibe of we weren't there just to be there. We had some expectations, and
you've coached long enough. You can tell when two teams take the field like that, and you could see one over there and their shoulders are down. You're like, this is going to get ugly.
Yeah.
But Corey and I didn't get that.
No.
You guys were fired up. You had the crowd. That's a long haul.
We had a great crowd.
And everybody was there, and it's like, check, please. Can we get out?
Yeah. When the ball snapped, though, we had a couple kids, for a lack of a better way of saying it, puckered up a little bit, and just didn't play their best games at times, and it showed a little bit. And like I said, East Central, hats off to them. They played phenomenal.
Yeah, so, they're an outstanding team.
Went on to win the state championship. So
blocked a field goal to win the state title.
Yeah, that's they're crazy. And they're reloading. They got a lot of those guys back. So we'll be prepping for the same showdown again. Hopefully, we don't have to drive 2 hours if we see them. But
can we get them here?
It'd be nice.
That's not a fun drive for me.
No.
My thing was, I wonder if this will hurt or help the program, because you never know. You go over there and you get handed that. And I've been on the receiving end of one of those. I was up at Warren Central, and we went out there on the field, and they hit us in the mouth, and we were like, hey, what time's Gaddy's open? That's where we're at. And you hate saying that, but as 17, 18-year-old kids, that happens.
It happens.
But I've watched the park, the 7-on-7s, the everything. I've stayed in touch with you. I've talked to kids and parents.
Yeah.
They came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, our kids have put in. We've had a great off season. It's the best weight room off season we've had since I've been here.
Yeah,
we shattering records there. We got kids putting on great weight. And that's what what I did to start the off season was I in December I grabbed every kid after school and put them in the weight room.
Yeah.
And I put on the video board East Central highlight reel.
There you go.
And I looked up there.
What doesn't kill you make you stronger.
I said, this isn't a talent thing. This isn't an X and O's thing. This is they were stronger than us and they pushed us around.
Yeah.
And we've got to fix that in this room. And I credit to our kids, they did. This is the biggest team I've had since we've been here.
Noticeably stronger team this year. And not only stronger, but quicker, and we can get into all that, but just from the kids coming over and talking to us on the one night we were there, everybody bulked up. Yeah,
it was a great off season in the weight room for us. Our kids bought into what we were selling, and Coach Breach, our weight coach, did a great job. And the kids they didn't like the weight room at times, but
nobody does.
But that's what I tell the kids all the time. I was in high school, I hated the weight room too. Now I'm just in there so I don't get too fat. That's the one reason I'm in there.
I stopped going.
But no, it was good. It was really good. I was proud of them. Then on the field, I think we've been great this summer. Our attendance, one of the things that's a sign of, I don't know if it's a sign of a good program, but a sign of a committed program. I'm not calling kids asking where they're at in the summer. Where are you at? Why aren't you here?
That's what I was looking for.
They want to be there.
And they've showed up. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. It caught my eye on the Midnight Madness thing, which was your idea, and it worked. And now I'm going to have my ass out there again next year.
Hey, that coach's office couch was not the funnest to sleep on, I'll tell you. I should have came here, no joke.
So next year we'll try to make it bigger and go from there. But I was just amazed at the energy, and I'm trying to think, like, at any point in time, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, would I've been excited about practicing at 12:30 at night? And I'm like, I can't see it. But these kids were running and flying for the ball and just all out and having a good time. And I was like, man, he's got these kids believing.
It's funny is the coaches got there. We got there about 11 o'clock, whatever. Most of us put our kids to bed and then, kissed our wife goodbye and went down to practice, that was never happened before. It was a little different.
Right.
So when we got here, we were all sitting in the coach's office, and I looked at everybody and I said, well, this is going to be either a really good freaking idea or this is going to be terrible. I don't know what we're going to get at 12:15 when we start.
Right.
It's going to go there's no in between. And the kids came out and that door opened and they started hooting and hollering. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool.
Yeah. So the thing that struck me was normally those first practices, it's so hot and so humid, and here you are getting to practice in, and it's 68 degrees, and there's no sun, and
no, it was beautiful.
Those kids were loving it.
Yeah, so. And because we start school so late compared to a lot of other schools, starting August 11th, late, right? But we can do that. When I was at Southport, we started school on July 27th or 28th. So when the first practice is that August 1st, you're not going to do a Midnight Madness because your kids have to get up and go to school the next day. So. I mean, it just was an opportunity, and we talked in our coach's office. How can we make the first? Because when you and I played, that first August practice, that first day of 2-a-days, it was an event. It was. I mean, you were just amped for it, and it was awesome. You're excited to hit somebody. You were excited to do all that.
See where you're at.
Now these kids do it all summer.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like my second year here. I remember is Wyatt Shrake, who's was our offensive lineman. Now he's helping out coach with the freshman group, and he says, "What do you mean our first practice? We've been going all summer."
Right.
Well, this is the first IHSA practice, like the first official practice.
Right.
He's like, "What do you mean? We've been going since June." They couldn't wrap their minds around it. So we sat around this off season and said, "How do we make this?" Like, how do we tell them we're flipping a switch?
It's time to go.
We're not summer mode anymore. Now it's regular season. So that was the idea, and I think the kids loved it, and they really enjoyed it. And I was glad they all got home safe. That was my biggest fear, honestly, in the whole thing.
Right.
And it was fun. Like I said, sleeping on the couch at the office wasn't great, but I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
So we're gonna do it next year?
I think so. I want to make it bigger. I'd love to let fans come. Honestly, I wish we could do it on a Saturday night and turn it into a big event. But obviously,
fans.
The first practice is a Monday morning, so we can't do that. But no, I want to do it. I want to invite fans. I want people to come out, just have fun and watch us fly around a little bit. You saw us. We didn't do too much, but we got after it for an hour or so.
It's just something different when you're out there under the lights. At nighttime, and especially now with that new turf.
Yeah.
And with the people that have not been there and seen that field, that is amazing.
It's beautiful.
So
it's unbelievable.
Get a look at that tomorrow night, and then later in the week I'll be at the soccer field covering.
It looks great too.
It does.
Soccer looks great. They've done a great job. Coach Staggs, Mr. Bowen, our superintendent, Mr. Roberson, Dr. Roberson, who was here before him, and then Don Lips and the school board with the previous one that kind of got all this moving. It's awesome. Yeah. It's unbelievable. The commitment to making our facility, and that's, a lot of people have talked about, well, should we be doing this? Should you not? Like, well, these kids deserve the best experience there is.
Right.
Like, our kids in Martinsville don't deserve a third rate experience if we can give them a first class. And that field, I mean, the coaches from other schools that have come on are like, wow.
Yeah.
And then the scoreboard blows their minds. So.
I love it.
It blows their minds.
Cannot wait. And see, that's we decided we're gonna announce out of the press box this year till that first rain hits. And then we're like,
then we'll figure out what we're doing.
But I'm like, he got AC in the press box now, but I'm like, we got to be able to see the scoreboard, so we down in distance. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we can see the scoreboard from my house now. Yeah. So
we been working the last couple of days with with Eric Meyer, our MHS Rewind guy, and putting together with a couple of his students a little intro video.
Good.
Gonna have some old flavor with some new flavor, and might be some special celebrity people on there. So
it's good stuff.
It's pretty cool. So make sure you get there early to watch that as we take the field.
Oh, I certainly will. Now it's go time.
Yeah.
You had your scrimmage, Columbus East. And we were not able to attend that, but from what I hear, you guys had a pretty good showing.
Yeah.
Defense and offense, first team did well. I want to ask how the kids think looking towards tomorrow night. Were they amped today, pumped up about it, ready to go, ready to hit somebody different?
Oh yeah, for sure. The scrimmage is gotten, I don't want to say worthless, but it's not the scrimmage. Like, again, the scrimmage we played in, that was the first time you hit somebody different. Right. So it was fun.
You used to have the jamboree or whatever.
And it was fun. You hit somebody different.
Yeah.
We've kind of had some controlled scrimmages throughout the summer and different things. So they've seen other teams. We went against Roncalli. We went against, Bloomington North. Like we've hit. And
you held your own against some of the best teams in the state.
We felt like we did this summer. We felt pretty good. We went up to that Colts got invited to that Colts tournament 7-on-7 this year, and I thought we did pretty well. We went 2-1-1.
Yeah.
So we beat Lawrence North. We tied with Westfield. I mean, those are two programs that are big time
in the mix.
So, but no, it's different now with all that. You really just want to stay healthy through that. So. It's a preseason, NFL fourth game preseason where the starters play 10 plays, you get them out and let everybody else play. And it's great for our JV and freshman kids. But I thought our varsity played well. They didn't score against our varsity the first 10 plays. We scored, I think, 2 or 3 times against them. And we did some really good things. Still some things to clean up. Columbus East is traditionally a really good football program. Yeah. I know they've been down the last couple of years.
They've had some talent come through there over the years.
Yeah, and I think they looked like a good football program. They look like a good football team. It'll be interesting to see. But our kids, we're real big on the kind of get blinders on, and it's something that we've done a really good job of. No matter what the scrimmage happened with the scrimmage, we know South is next week. We know all that. Only thing that matters this week is 1-0.
Bedford.
We got to have a great Monday. We got to have a great Tuesday. We got to have a great Wednesday. We got to have a great Thursday. We got to win each day.
Yeah.
And we kind of break it down that way. And we had a good Monday practice. And I said, okay, it's a good Monday. Tomorrow needs to be better. Like that's the only way we get to where we want. Each day has to be better. So that's kind of what we did. We had a great week. We had so Thursday's a little bit of a different practice for us. It's a little bit more mental.
Yeah.
We go helmets only. We do a little, we blare the music real loud to start practice, and we do like a quick special teams on and off again, punt, offense out, punt team, and the kids have to communicate with the loud music and make all their checks and everything. And we were really dialed in today. Like we were a dialed in group. So it was a fun day.
Coach Siderwitz used to do that on Thursdays.
Yeah.
That was what we did. We special teams work and walk through on everything, helmets only.
Yep.
So that's funny that you're back to that.
Yeah.
But you don't want to get anybody hurt.
Yeah.
If you don't know the game plan by now, you're not going to know it by Friday. So let's walk through everything, get it down.
My my mentor when I was at Southport, Bill Peebles, had a really good saying that, if our best players don't play on Friday night, we don't have a chance to win anyway. So we can't get anybody hurt on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So let's be smart.
Right.
So,
So once again, you're starting the season off with Bedford. Bedford's been, I think our first game, I know since I was there. Last year, I think you were their only loss for majority of the season.
Yeah, they had a really good season. I think they actually were co-champions of their conference for a while. They're not for a while. They were co-champions of their conference. Yeah. I think there was 2 or 3 teams that tied for it, but they had a solid year last year.
Yeah, and they're coming back in with some more experience. They got a decent quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback. The Loudon kid's really good.
Yeah.
He throws a good ball. He's got a cannon of an arm. He can let it fly for sure. But the one thing, he's real dangerous with his feet too. He's tough to bring down. So he's a really good football player.
Dual threat.
Yeah.
Well, that's good though, because our kids are ready to hit. I think.
Yeah.
That's what we saw the other day at when we went out there. A lot of kids, especially defensive players, they didn't want to talk. They were ready to hit.
Yeah, for sure. They're
Mr. Dewey and company. It looks like they're ready to.
Yeah, we got a group that says we're gonna be young on defense. We're gonna be we're gonna have to learn a little bit, grow up. But I think we got an athletic group and we got a physical group, and those are 2 things. I mean, if you're gonna ask for a defense, that's 2 pretty good things to have.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is it seemed like you had more overall team speed this year. Am I off by saying that?
No, I feel like we're faster. Again, that's off-season stuff. We did a really good job of getting stronger, but not losing any speed. I mean, I think that it kind of showed the first play of the scrimmage on offense when Shrake went 65 yards. He's a kid who put 20 pounds on this offseason.
And still burned.
And he still was pulling away from people. So, it's testament to our kids and working hard and buying into the system. Coach Gaylord does a lot of our speed development stuff in the spring, and the kids do a really good job with that.
And see, that's what a lot of folks my age don't understand is now this is 365.
Oh, it's crazy.
And you guys don't stop.
Yeah.
One item or another, you're always working.
Yeah. What we ask of our kids is tough, and people don't realize that. And it's hard on kids.
Yeah.
We encourage our kids to play other sports. We want them to play basketball, wrestle, play baseball, run track. But if they're not doing those things, they need to be with us.
Right.
They need to be doing the after-school speed development stuff, agilities, plyos, all that stuff. We're fortunate that most of our kids can take the weight class during the day, so they get their lifting done during school.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then after school, we can get the more, the other stuff, the speed, the agilities, the flexibility, all that stuff that helps you be a better athlete overall.
Right, and it keeps them injury free sets them up. Do they play Eminence this year? No, they do not, Jared.
No Eminence. Nope, sorry.
No Paragon or Eminence, Jared. He's a Steelers fan, so and a Boilermaker fan. So anyway,
won't hold it against him.
Right. Just looking forward to tomorrow night. Bedford North Lawrence comes to town, starting a new season, new scoreboard, new field. I'm hoping we have a packed house.
Yeah.
Bring the noise, bring the love for the team.
Bring cowbells, bring it all.
Yeah, and the folks that have not been over there and seen the scoreboard and the field and the whole work they've done with Kip and Mr. Bell and everybody's done in the facility they're going to be amazed. Mm-hmm. One thing was the last time I went to Franklin, we were up on top of the press box and just looking over their whole facility and just amazed at what all they've done over there, and we're to that point now.
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock kickoff. Yep.
Yeah, 7 o'clock kickoff as always.
Yeah.
You got to be pumped.
Yeah, I am. I mean, it's kind of the point. We were talking a little before we started here. It's you're kind of that point right now where you're not really sure what you are.
Right.
I think we're pretty good. But then, there are times at practice where we'll have kind of a second where I'm like, maybe we're not very good. But then the next play, you're really good again. So it's like we're ready to go up against somebody.
It's a young team.
Yeah, and kind of see where we're at a little bit. We're going to make some mistakes because we're young. But I think overall we're really talented, and I think this group could do something special.
Yeah. And all the teams are going through the same thing you are tonight, and across the board. 17, 18-year-old kids, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You don't know how school's going to go tomorrow, what's going to happen.
So it's funny you say that.
Thanks, Jared.
When I got into coaching, my high school basketball coach, Martinsville alum, Mark James, cowboy boots and all.
Oh, yeah.
He was my basketball coach, kind of a second father to me. Really, families were close growing up and stuff. I love Coach James to death. when I got out of college, when I got into college, I told him I was wanted to go coach. Well, he called me an idiot, first of all. And he said, well, let me tell you something. Don't you ever forget that you're the idiot that chose the profession that relies on the decision-making of a 16, 17-year-old boy.
Right.
And I thought to myself, that's pretty good.
And the sad thing is, we were those 16.
Oh, I know. I started thinking about, okay. So
we've all been there.
Yeah.
Mark James, he went on to make some. Doesn't he announce still or used to?
No, he's
still coaching.
He's still coaching. He's now the head coach at. There is a Mark James who does all the
James,
things, yeah.
And he's from down here.
Yeah, is he? I didn't know if he was down here too as well. No, Coach James, Franklin Central. Then he went to Ben Davis and won a state championship there.
That's right.
And then spent a couple years at Perry Meridian, and now he's out at Triton Central to finish his career out. So just kind of.
Well, you had a good teacher there.
Did he got 599 wins? He's gonna have 600 this year. So good guy to work.
How far are you away from that 599?
Ooh, in football, that's about 70, 80 years. You know, basketball, they play 25 games a year.
Right.
I might get there when I'm 95, 100
you never
or something.
know.
Yeah, we'll see.
13-0, 10 or 11 years in a row, you'd be good to go. That's a haul, isn't it? You look at something like Coach Moore, and what's the gentleman's name from Roncalli? Bud? Is it Bud?
The coach there now, or the legendary?
Legendary.
Oh, Cyphries, yeah, Bruce Cyphries.
Yeah, they coach forever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, literally forever.
Look at Coach Gillen up in Mooresville.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain guys, there's some really good coaches in the state that are just lifer. I mean, Bud Sheridan up at
that's it.
I'm drawing a blank right now. Sheridan, sorry.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
You know, when you've done it that long, you got to be lucky more often than you got to be good.
Bud Wright at Sheridan. Wright. That's Bud Wright at Sheridan. I was putting the school with the name there. Sorry.
I kept trying to think Dave Enright, who was up north.
Yeah, he coached for a long time.
Yeah, and then Bud Grant kept coming to mind. I was like, no, it's not the Vikings. So.
Yeah, there. Corey got us. Corey fixed us. We eventually got him.
CB knew where we were trying to
go. I mean, if you would have been here, you could have helped us out quicker. But just throwing that out there.
Well, I originally said, I told you. I originally said it for 8. And I didn't realize, but somebody outvoted both of us for the 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's his better half. So
the one who makes the decisions around the house.
Now I want to go back and read that text he sent me. Hey, can we make it 7?
It was a lot more passive of a
right.
It wasn't a demand by any means.
So hopefully nobody. Sorry, he says. No big deal, Corey.
Still love you, man.
Hopefully nobody from Bedford's on, and we're not giving away things here. But from what I've seen from a football standpoint, a lot of underneath stuff. He looks like he can just zip the ball in and out.
Yeah.
I didn't see the last scrimmage, but didn't see a lot of long balls. But I've seen a lot of controlled passing. Young quarterback, new quarterback.
Yeah, and you got two bombs in the scrimmage, so he let him go.
That changed it up.
So I was thinking some bombs in the scrimmage.
Little West Coast offense time, and then you got Shrake. Hello, Mike. Just pounding the rock.
Yeah. We'll do what we do. Yeah. No matter where I've been, whatever I've been blessed with great quarterbacks everywhere I've been. But we put a huge emphasis on our quarterback's job is to put us in the right play.
Yeah.
We do a lot of prep work throughout the week. We are take what you give us offense. If you're gonna load the box, well, we're gonna throw it. If you're gonna spread the box out, we're gonna run it.
That's the way it's going right now in the NFL and everywhere.
We do a lot of RPO stuff, a lot of quick screens to our receivers, and we'll take our shots when they're needed. But our offense is we're gonna play the numbers game and try and hit you where you ain't. And keep it simple. He's had a great offseason. He's not where Tyler was yet. I mean, Tyler was a point in time where I just stayed out of his way. I think there were times like the Whiteland game where I'm getting ready to call the next play because, we're tempo, we're on the ball quick, and I'm getting ready to call the next play, and he's already calling it. Like, he knows what he wants. Okay. When you let that 16, 17-year-old kid.
When
he goes 19 for 24 for 250 yards, you're going to let him do it.
You did well.
Yeah, so... and I just thought, I always told Tyler, my job is to try and put as much of my brain football wise into you to go on that field and do your job. You're the one driving the car.
Right.
And I told AJ the same thing, you're the kid driving the car. So, we're going to count on you to make decisions, and you're going to screw things up, and we're going to fix them, and we're going to go from there. But I don't know how else to coach. I couldn't be the guy trying to call everything. Our quarterbacks have to do it. That's how I've always done it. And, we'll do it. And like you said, we're going to be really blessed this year. We got a great running back that when times are tough, we can just give him the rock and say go to work. He's he's pretty special himself.
I did notice. I kept waiting for the lineman. I appreciate you finally working your way. You had people come up and talk to us, and you got the lineman over. Yeah. That's a scary bunch.
Yeah, and
they didn't want to talk. They looked right at me. They were like, they gave me their name. They're like, "Are we done?" So,
yeah,
bud.
If you got more than 4 words out of Aiden Button, that's a win. Now you may have set the record.
They didn't want to talk.
He's a man of few words for sure, but he's a big guy and he gets after it, and he's going to be an anchor for us at right tackle. He'll be a 2-year starter. Nate Long at left tackle, be a 2-year starter for us. Then kind of we're in a really good spot. We've got about, Coach Dilly and I talk about it all the time, like there's like 7-8 guys that can all be in the mix there. We kind of go different routes. We got
that's a good problem to have.
Great, and we don't feel like there's a huge drop off either. Yeah. Different guys bring different things. We got one guy maybe a little quicker, another guy it's a little more powerful. So it's kind of like what each week holds for us. But like Ty Hornberger's probably going to play a little bit, play some offense for us this year and some defense. He's our starting nose last year as a sophomore, and he's just showing that he's just a dude. Maddox Dilly, Coach, he's right now at center. Hayden Van Devender, Andrew Carter. These are all kids that are just, we're right there where it's plug and play, trying to figure out. Pretty much we joke in the office, well, we know who our 2 tackles are, who that center guard combination can be, any of those kids, and we feel really good about all of them.
One thing that I was impressed with, and Corey and I spoke about this a couple times, you have 2 tight ends. Mm-hmm. One kid that looks like he could be 6'4" on a basketball team, and then one guy that's built like Antonio Gates. This kid's stocky. He's got a full beard. And he looks like he goes and chops down trees in the winter. He's just a big thick.
Josh Jones, our lumberjack.
Oh
for sure.
My goodness!
Yeah,
that kid is thick, and he looks like you can't knock him over.
That's the thing. We always joke about Josh that if he screws up, we're gonna move him to left guard. But the thing is, he's so dangerous. He catches so well and he runs so well.
Remember from last year,
and he blocks. He blocks really well. Yeah. And the best part about Josh is when he gets the ball, he's hard to bring down.
Yeah,
he's not a guy you're gonna come in and one
he's like
guy.
A big fullback running people over.
So in our offense, our H-back is really really important. And Josh is a monster. He's tough, and nobody likes going against him. And then Bo Dilly has been our backup quarterback the last couple of years, and this was his senior year, and once AJ kind of came on the scene and did all that, it was kind of he kind of made the decision that he wanted to play. He didn't want to be the backup again.
Right.
So he made the decision to move to H-back, and he's athletic. He moves well, and we can do some double tight stuff here and there, and
it's good to be versatile. Mm-hmm. You never know what you're going to run into as the season goes along.
We like to have a lot of different packages in our offense to make the defense have to worry about a whole lot of different things.
Right. I'm excited. I know the crowd is. I know we normally go for an hour, and you and I can sit here and talk football for a long time, but this is game night eve.
Yeah.
And I know that Mama's at home waiting on you, and she wants you to get home, see your kids. So we won't keep you much longer. But a lot of folks don't know you're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, alumni stuff. You got stuff going on in the locker room. I'm in a conversation, and I don't know who's all in there on text or in emails. You're working to keep the history and bring the new stuff in.
Absolutely.
And tell them a little bit about the locker room stuff, and then we'll get you out of here.
Well, I'm like you said, I'm a former history teacher, so like to me, history is really important. And when I got this job, one of the first phone calls I made was to Bill Siderwitz, because to me, he's the kind of guy you got to have the blessing. You got to get that guy on your side. And ironically, at the time, I didn't even know some of the stuff going on about that whole situation. And I'm very thankful that Coach was able to come around practice.
Wasn't that awesome?
He was able to come to our pregame stuff and sit on the sidelines, and I've told you this before. My Saturday mornings were awesome when that phone would ring and he'd call me and congratulating me and already coaching up for the next week about what do we got to do, what's the game plan, giving me his 2 cents about when we played Warren Central or we did this. This is something you should think about. Just having a great time with it, and I loved every second of it. But to me, it's real important that history is here, and guys like you need to feel a part of the program, and that's what I really want. And I don't want you guys to ever go away. I want you guys to feel like you're a part of it. And I got Bellcat, our principal Jeff Bell. He's
That's amazing.
He's awesome. He is awesome.
That speech he gave the other day.
Oh man, he's
straight from Coach Siderwitz. I'm telling you,
he is awesome, and I'm glad I get. I work in the office with him every day, and I'm glad I get to share that with him because he's something else, and I couldn't imagine working for anybody better. But he's trying to get together. We're trying to put together an alumni database, just emails from former players, just so I can reach to you guys.
Yeah.
I've got visions of grandeur. I mean, I've got huge visions of what I want to do. This place is welcomed me in, and I want to do some really cool things. But that takes support. That takes guys like you wanting to do stuff like this. I mean, I'm excited to get our kids in here and have the opportunity to do this because this doesn't happen everywhere. Right. Not everybody has this opportunity for their kids to come do an interview like this. Yeah. I've got visions of continuing to do more and more alumni things, and that starts to be able to contact them, be able to reach out to them, and just send an email saying, hey, here's what's going on in the program, or hey, we need help with this. This is where we're at. So one of the opportunities right now we're doing the locker plaques. Yep. We're asking former players, coaches, managers, whoever's been
anybody involved with the program.
Yeah. To donate to basically for $100. We're putting a little a plaque in the locker with your name on it, your class, and a quote. Just something that.
See, I can't have my quotes up there.
Yeah, we can. We'll go ahead and put them. We'll find the PG version.
Line them out.
Yeah. We'll put the old exclamation point, number sign, money sign, all that stuff in there. But it's opportunity for a kid that they may not know who that person is, but that's a name they'll never forget.
Right.
And then at some point in time, it may come up like, hey, I've got Brad Shields' locker. I don't know who that is. Blah blah blah. Coach, who's Brad Shields? And we could tell a story. Right. You know what I mean? And that's how that type of stuff carries on. It's a great opportunity to get back to the program. It's an easy donation. I say $100 is easy. I don't mean it like that, but you know what I mean. It's something
to a great cause,
and it goes to the kids. Everything we raise goes to our adult booster adult football booster club. A lot of verbiage there. And they do a great job of buying stuff for our kids. Just things that we try to make the experience great. Shirts, whether it's our shirts that we buy them, and whether it's making sure we have great looking decals and jerseys, and providing them snack packs before the games and after the games.
All that stuff's important.
It is, and and then you get to do fun things too. We can take them to the movies in the summer. We can do our senior canoe trip and hang out with the seniors for a day. We can buy a 27-foot inflatable well. We can, and just this week we just had got another surprise coming. We got our booster club just purchased one of those digital down markers. So no more flipping anymore. There's just a little digital thing that, you know what I mean? Just cool little things that we can add to the Friday night experience.
That'd be awesome.
That not every program gets to say, and all that comes back from support. So, like I said, I've got dreams of grandeur. I've got things I want to get a group of people together and come up with a home base for MJFL. I'd love to find some land somewhere and do 2 or 3 football fields out there and make it home. And but those are all down the road. But that's where I'm thinking.
Crawl before you can walk.
Absolutely.
Well, it's funny because Coach Siderwitz would bring other players in, and even in the summer when we were weight training. Other players would come in and work out with us. And you get these guys were in their 20s and 30s, and then once or twice a week, Drill Sergeant Robinson would come, the Marine Drill Sergeant, but he played for Coach. He would come and run us around the track and sing cadence, and if you messed up, you were one of his Marines. So that's awesome. That stuff kind of went away, and that's myself and the guys that I graduated with, Chris and Brad and Jeff and everybody that's coming around. We appreciate that, and that's what we're looking for. And I think you keep going, keep going because you're doing
you don't have to reinvent the wheel either. When someone like Coach Siderwitz has done some great stuff, like running the hill, right? There's all sorts of studies out right now that show how great running hills are for speed training.
Some guy named Walter Payton used to do it.
That's what I'm saying. So there's all sorts of stuff going on with that right now. So why not bring back an old tradition? And what's great about like running the hill? Our kids eat it up. Yeah. They're scared to death of it going into that week. I mean, we had freshmen and sophomores just, shaking a little bit about it. But they feel so accomplished because they hear these stories of what you guys in this town have told for however many years about.
Now they're part of it.
Yeah, now I'm part of it.
Yep.
I did it too.
Yep.
Now they're going to tell, that story continues on.
Yep.
Now there's another group of kids that in 20 years are telling people, hey, remember when Coach Duggar made us run the hill and we did this, and then we got to go do all this stuff at the pool park.
And the stories grow longer.
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden, instead of 12, it's 18 times up the hill.
We did do 20, though. We had to, because the year before us did 19. I think they cut it out after that.
Gotcha.
But, I mean, after about the third one, dude, it was Walk City, because their legs were on fire.
No, I usually go up about once a night. That's I do one of them, and I say, hey, I'm 39 years old. I can do one.
Oh yeah. That's a hill.
So it'll get you.
Well, like always, we'll be there. Hopefully, get you when you now we're right there in your vision when you're coming off the field. If you want to come over and say something, you're always welcome.
Okay.
Look forward to tomorrow night. Win, lose, or draw, you're on the right path. I hope the city starts coming out and supporting you guys even more so than ever. I want to see those stadiums like that I played in front of, 3 deep on the fence, stands packed, where they had to bring in more bleachers. They were bringing in sets of bleachers on the Friday nights because they pack it out.
And I think we're getting that. I think things, each year we've had a bigger crowd. One of the coolest things I've experienced, and I'm so glad our kids got to do it during the fall, the parade.
Fall Foliage
Yeah,
Festival.
thank you. During the parade, we have the trailer that we're on.
Sure.
And, every corner we turned, every time we pulled up, people just started clapping.
Yeah.
And like kind of gave you goosebumps and chills, just like the excitement, and I would, the softy in me is kind of like, I'm so glad that our kids get to experience something like this.
It's stuff that other communities don't get to do.
That's exactly
100%.
It's to me, it wasn't even about the fact that, hey, they're cheering for us. It's like these kids get to experience something that shows how much this town loves them and cares. And they're just as, we had people standing up, clapping, just like, because the football team was rolling on through the parade. And it's just really cool.
Right. Well, Coach, good luck tomorrow night. Good luck on the season.
Yeah.
We'll be right there, good or bad.
Yeah.
And then we'll
hopefully a lot more good.
Right. We'll get some players in here as the season goes along.
Absolutely.
And Bedford first, and then I don't even want to talk about the week after that.
The Purple Boys, the Purple Team.
Monroe County.
Yeah. We're 1-0 right now. Tomorrow we're 1-0. That's the goal. And then we'll work on being 1-0 again next week.
Exactly. So. Good luck, Coach. Thanks for coming in as always. Get home to your family. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Love you. We'll be back on tomorrow night, and I can't even begin to tell you who I got in here tomorrow night. I forget. So, no, we'll be at the stadium tomorrow night.
Yeah, you're with us.
Again. You guys tomorrow night, and then Saturday. We'll see you guys tomorrow night at around 6:45 at Ciderwoods Field. Martinsville versus Bedford North Lawrence. SQA, Super Quick Artesians. Someone said, well, how long have they been doing that? When I walked up there as a freshman, it was on the board outside the concession stand, Super Quick Artesians. That was in 81, 82.
Another Coach Sider
It's been there
say,
forever. So
Gold Pants, Super Quick Artesians.
There we go.
You name it. The man was he was the greatest showman.
Yes, he was. All right, Coach, we'll let you go. Love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow night at the field.